Hello, my name is Michael Lander. I'm a trainee delegate from Oklahoma. And behind me you can see a new Scramble blocker that I have built with heavy inspiration from a Michigan delegate by the name of Tyler Rose. He also goes by trose888 on Discord. The goal with this Scramble blocker is to help streamline the process of scrambling and sending out cubes for runners. So as we can see, there's in slots here where the cube covers can go in, and we have out slots, one on this side. There's also one on the other side that you can't see right now for the cube covers to come out of. So as you can see, I currently have just one computer, but when we actually set this up at our next competition, we're gonna have one monitor on this side and one monitor on this side, which will both be connected to a central computer that the delegates will have access to, that we can put the Scramble passwords into to allow them to pop up on both screens. As you can see, on either side of my head, there are two pieces of paper. On this side, we have scrambling orientation. This tells you what orientation to hold each puzzle in, including if that puzzle does not have a normal color scheme. On this side, we have scrambling and puzzle rules. There are many things included on this piece of paper. Some of the things include reminding scramblers to ensure that all scrambles are done correctly, and if not, to solve the puzzle and re-scramble it. It also says to make sure that the correct scramble group is open at the start of each group. It also includes some helpful tips about what puzzles are and are not allowed, such as pillowed puzzles being allowed, electronic components on puzzles not being allowed, and it reminds the competitors to ensure that all colors are distinguishable from the others and not different shades on the same face. It also makes sure to remind the scramblers that the faces of the puzzle should be clean and should not have any defects on them. If they ever have a question, they're always encouraged to ask a delegate. At the start of each round, runners will grab the cubes as usual, but instead of just grabbing a couple at a time, we ask that the runners stack the cubes to slide them through the in slot. So runners will bring cubes over like this in a stack, and they will slide them all through at once. This keeps the in slot from getting overcrowded by trying to insert single puzzles at a time and causing a traffic jam of puzzles at the start of each round. As you can see, we now have the unscrambled cubes ready to start the round. Scramblers will need to ensure that they are grabbing the frontmost cube at the start of the round to make sure that everybody gets started around the same time. The scramblers will then scramble up the cube as they usually would, no different here. And then I don't have scorecards, but they would sign the scorecard however you ask them to. They'll place the cube in. They want to ensure that they put the scorecard all the way in, because if they do not, when they push it out of the out slot, it might cause an issue of pulling the scorecard out. I've done my best to prevent this, but as long as scramblers are putting the scorecard all the way in, it would not be an issue. They will then take the cube cover and slide it out of the out slot and leave it there on the table for a runner to come by and grab it. I'm sure there may be a couple other questions that you guys might have about this Scramble blocker, such as it might be really big. What about people bumping into the table and it falling over? Because that automatically is going to just reveal all scrambles. Well, if you can see here, dotted around on this, I have different 3D printed brackets that have a lip on the bottom of them that allow me to Gorilla Tape them on the outside, meaning that you can hit it pretty hard without it falling over. As you can see, we did have a minor mishap of one little thing popping out, but instead of it falling over, it popped out of the bracket and then just sat back down on the table. And you can see I very quickly was able to replace it into the bracket with no issues. You can place more tape around the outside on the bottoms of this, as this entire thing is lined with tape, allowing it to be easily taped down to a table. There may be other issues with this that we have yet to realize that we will hopefully figure out how to handle at our next competition next weekend on November 9th. I will hopefully make another YouTube video about this, explaining any additions that I might be making or anything that we needed to solve and how we did solve it, so that you yourself can also solve the same issues that you might have. In the description below, I'm going to provide a couple of things for you, such as the infographics, which were created by Tyler Rose, He has graciously permitted me to share them with all of you and use them in my own design, as well as the infographics on the front for the in and out slots. I will also be providing you guys with my 3D files for these brackets to allow you guys to also use them if you would like. If you have any other questions, please put them in the comments below, and I will gladly answer anything that you might have. With that being said, I appreciate you guys watching this YouTube video, and I will let you guys know how it goes, and hopefully give you guys some more information here soon.